Hello. Um, I'm sorry I keep looking up here. I'm used to that being where the camera is, and now the camera is over here. So I have to get used to that. I have my December wrap up for you. I'm not going to do an end of year wrap up because I checked Goodreads. I read 82 books this year. And I don't want to go through and say I read this and I read this and I read this. If you guys want to know what I read for the entire year, either look at my wrap ups or get on my Goodreads and you can look at what I've read. So I'm just going to do a December one. Like I said, I did read 82 books in 2015, and I can't believe it's 2016. And for once, I'm okay with the fact that I didn't reach my 100 books. I'm okay with that. But I read 4 books this past month, so I'm just going to go over those. The first one I read was First and Then by Emma Mills. This was in the, I believe it was October uppercase box I got for free that I reviewed for you guys, and I believe I did a review on this book as well. It's like a Pride and Prejudice remake, takeoff, whatever you want to call it, modernization, adaptation. Whichever one of those words you want to use, it's that. And if you don't know Pride and Prejudice, haven't read it, haven't watched it, don't care about it, you'll still enjoy this book, but you'll enjoy it even more if you have read or watched or do enjoy Pride and Prejudice. But I really enjoyed this one, and you guys know I don't really do stars, my brain doesn't work that way, but this was a good one, and I would recommend this one. Actually, I would pretty much recommend everything I read this month. So the next book I read was Soundless by Richelle Mead. I did a book haul that was just this book. I ordered this from Amazon. Didn't realize it was coming from the UK, so it took a bit longer than anticipated to get here. But it got here, and I read the entire book in the same day. So that should give you an indication of how much I enjoyed it. I know everybody is talking about this book right now on BookTube, but I also know that my channel is not just BookTube, so a lot of you aren't in the BookTube world, and I have been asked and am going to do a review for Soundless. I've just honestly been too lazy to walk downstairs and get the book and bring it upstairs to film it. So I'm actually going to film that as soon as I get done filming my wrap-up, but this book was amazing. Would definitely recommend it. It is set in China. I don't know the time period, but this girl lives on top of a mountain, and the only way they can get food is they mine metal and they send it down a zip line, and then the people on the other end of the zip line send up food. Everybody in her village is deaf, and people start going blind, including her sister, and nobody's been able to hear in their village for generations, and suddenly one morning she wakes up and she can hear. And it goes into that, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I just did my review. Oh well, I'll still film a review, don't worry. But that's basically the gist of the book. This is very, very good. I would definitely recommend this. You should totally read this book. Next book I read is, well, the next 2 books I read, the other 2 books I read, are ones that I got in Tulsa at that thrift store that pretty much sucked, except that they had 45-cent books. So I got 3 books there, and I read 2 of them last month. The first one I read was The Englischer by Beverly Lewis. Beverly Lewis writes a lot of books based in Amish communities, which is something I find interesting. They are published by Bethany House, and if that means nothing to you, that means that they're Christian books. But even if you're not into that, if you're just into Amish type books about Amish, then you would still enjoy these, even regardless of that. This was really good. I like hers because not only are they about Amish communities, but they usually have some kind of like mystery or something in them. And I read this one, and then I realized it was book 2 in a series. So I ordered the first one. I've started the first one, but I haven't finished it yet. I ordered it, I got it in, and I've started it, but I haven't finished it yet. But this one was very good. Read the first one first. It is called The Preacher's Daughter is the first one. So read that one first, because it'll make more sense. But this was still good. The last book I read was Gone Girl. And I've heard that this book was good, but I didn't know much about it. Honestly, when I was at the thrift store, I was just looking for some more contemporary or YA books to read, just because the ones I have sitting around are either like I guess they're technically contemporary, but they're old books, so they're not like modern anymore. They're from like the 40s and 50s. I have them in my grandma's basement. And then some like nonfiction, and I just have not been into nonfiction lately. So I picked up those three, and I really enjoyed the two that I read and the one I'm reading. But yeah, Gone Girl, all I pretty much knew about it was that this guy's wife goes missing, and he's suspected. That's pretty much all I knew about it. But this book is like, the more you get into it, it is messed up. Like, I couldn't stop reading it. I stayed up until 4 a.m. to finish it off one night, and I had the weirdest dreams all night. So, it won't keep you up, but be prepared for weird dreams if you read this before bed. I really don't want to spoil anything, but it starts out totally his perspective. Well, not totally his perspective. It alternates between his perspective and diary entries of his wife. And keep in mind that they're diary entries and not her point of view. So, try not to spoil anything. And then it switches to back and forth between his point of view and her point of view. And then it does that again in the third section. I would definitely recommend reading this, but it is messed up. Like, think Stephen King without being scary. It is just messed up. I really want to watch the movie now, because I know they made this into a movie. So, I'm going to quit rambling about that. And, yes. That is what I read in December. All very good books. I'm kind of, if you guys have noticed, I kind of have been going off and on with books the past, like, 6 months, 5 months, something like that, since about July. At first, well, I got rid of almost all of the books I own, which was a major test because I owned a lot of books. And I kept a few, and I gave a bunch to Alex, and I'm just I kind of wasn't interested in reading anything for a while. That's okay. And now I'm wanting to read stuff again, but I'm going about how I read things differently. And I'm being more, well, for one, I'm buying books and reading them and then planning on reselling them instead of getting them from the library. And doing that, I am being more picky about the books that I read, I guess, because, like, this was a brand new book and it was like $6. And to me, $6 is a lot for a book. So I had to really want to read this book to put out $6 for it. So I'm just trying to be more like, I really want to read this book. I'm going to read this book. And I'm also trying, instead of like going to the library and walking through the shelves and seeing new books I want to read, and granted, I'm still adding books to my list because I watch BookTube, but I'm trying to like work through my TBR list. My TBR list on Goodreads has over 3,000 books on it. Yeah. So I'm trying to work through those. I don't know how many books I'm going to read this year. I'm going to put 100 on my Goodreads thing because that's what I've been doing for the past few years. But like this last year. I'll be okay if I don't reach 100. But I guess it's more like quality over quantity is what I'm going for now. I don't know. I don't know. Phrasing and words are weird and yeah. But I'm still reading. I'm still doing booktube-ish videos, so you guys can expect those. But it's more, it's just going to be different, and I want you guys to be prepared for that. So, I guess that's all I'm trying to say. I hadn't decided whether or not I wanted to announce this, but I guess I will. The other thing I'm going to do is, like I said, I have these 4. I'm going to take them up to our used bookstore whenever they're open, probably tomorrow, and try and sell them back. If they don't want to buy them, now don't hold me to this, because I'm not promised anything, but this is the plan thus far. If they don't want to buy them, I plan on doing a giveaway for whichever books they don't want to get. If there are even any that they don't buy. So don't be expecting a giveaway and be all upset if there isn't one. Book giveaway, that is. But there might be. So be prepared for that, I guess. I don't know. I'm in a really weird mood this morning, you guys. I did not get enough sleep last night. I went to bed about 1:30, and my brain decided to wake me up at 8:30 for no apparent reason. But yeah, that's what's going on with the books. I don't usually really do a TBR, but I will tell you, I've got 3 that I'm in the middle of. Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. I want to finish that this month. That's the other one I got in Tulsa. The Preacher's Daughter by Beverly Lewis. I want to finish that. That is the first book in that series. And then this one should not be a problem to finish. I started this yesterday, and I am halfway through it. This is Chicks Kick Butt. It's an anthology, a bunch of short stories. I ordered it because, one of the short stories is part of the Darina Basarab series, which is by Karen Chance, which is awesome, which you should read, but read the Cassandra Palmer series first, because that's the original one that it comes off of. They're both awesome and amazing, and they do have the romantic, like, vampire romance elements, but they're not just that. I mean, those elements are in there, but it's also about, I guess the protagonists for both series are your strong female characters, blah, blah, blah. But it's, if you like supernatural stuff or different mythologies, it combines all sorts of different supernatural creatures into this one world, and it's just a really, really interesting world, and I would recommend it to anybody just for the world that she has created with Cassie Palmer and Darina Basarab. And Pripkin and all the other characters. They're amazing books. But yeah, that's the one I got this in the mail yesterday and I started that. Those are the ones I'm currently reading. I got another book in the mail yesterday. I'm expecting more books in the mail because I ordered a few books at the end of last month. And yes, I'm just hoping to make a dent in what I'm reading, what I have to read, and what I've ordered to read. That's the plan. And yes, I guess I will see you guys next time. I'll probably be posting this video first, and then I'll probably post the Soundless review like tomorrow or something. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.